In a kingdom where bloodlines determined destiny, two worlds existed side by side, but never together. The gilded halls of the royal palace. And the dusty cobblestone paths of the village below. Elyan was not born into power. He was born into purpose. A young man of humble means but extraordinary virtue, honest, brave, and quietly remarkable in a world that overlooked him. Princess Serafina had everything a royal life could offer: jewels, power, and a future already written for her. But what she longed for most was the one thing the palace could not give her: freedom. And love on her own terms. Fate, as it often does, chose the most unexpected moment. A runaway horse in the royal gardens. A princess thrown from her saddle. And one peasant, in the wrong place at exactly the right time, who caught her before she fell. Their eyes met. And in that single breath of a second, something shifted, something neither of them could name, but both of them felt. What began as a moment of chance blossomed into something neither could resist. Secret meetings in the palace library. Stolen glances across the crowded marketplace. Letters hidden inside bread loaves passed through castle gates. They came from different worlds. Yet every moment together felt like the only world that made sense. He taught her what it meant to live simply. She showed him the depth of a heart that had never truly been seen. But love, especially forbidden love, never stays secret for long. A court spy. An intercepted letter. And suddenly the entire kingdom knew what the princess and the peasant had hoped to keep only for themselves. The king's fury shook the palace walls. A princess of the dominant dynasty, consorting with a peasant. It was not merely scandalous. In the eyes of the monarchy, it was dangerous. And the laws were clear. The obstacles between them were not small. The monarchical laws forbade unions outside the bloodline. The royal family demanded absolute compliance. And dangerous political conspiracies lurked in every shadow of the court. Serafina faced a choice that no heart should ever have to make. Obey the crown and lose the man she loved. Or follow her heart and risk everything: her title, her family, and perhaps her very freedom. And it was Elyan, the peasant with nothing but his integrity, who made the first and greatest sacrifice. He surrendered himself to the royal court, not as a prisoner, but as a man willing to prove his worth. Not with gold. Not with title. But with truth. He stood before the most powerful dynasty in the land with nothing but courage and conviction. And he spoke every honest word that others in that court had been too afraid to ever say aloud. But then came the twist that changed everything. The very political conspiracy threatening to destroy Elyan and Serafina was rooted inside the palace itself. A treacherous noble plotting to overthrow the king. And Elyan, the peasant everyone had dismissed, was the only one who had seen it coming. The conspirators were exposed. The plot dismantled. The kingdom saved, not by a knight, not by a noble, but by an honest man from the village who simply refused to look the other way. A king who had once trembled with fury now stood with something far more difficult for a ruler to show: humility. Elyan had not only saved the kingdom. He had shown the king what true nobility of character truly looked like. And so the kingdom that had tried to keep them apart became the very place that brought them together. Laws were re-examined. Hearts were changed. And two people who had loved each other across every impossible divide were finally free. Their wedding was not just a ceremony. It was a declaration. That love, real, true, hard-fought love, does not bow to birthright. It bows only to the courage of those willing to fight for it. The Prince and the Peasant. A story of sacrifice, suspense, and love that refused to surrender. Because in the end, it was never truly about a crown or a bloodline. It was about two hearts brave enough to believe that love, in its most honest and extraordinary form, was always worth fighting for.